Minnesota, 3-point favorite traveling to Miami. Minnesota is 4-1. Miami is 3-2. When you look at Miami, their quarterbacks are banged up, both starter, Tua Tagovailoa, and backup Teddy Bridgewater. So Skylar Thompson may be the player that plays this week. He's a rookie. But here's the key. When I look at their offense, they're right now, they just can't move the ball. They couldn't move the ball last week with the 13 quarterback in there. They're going to struggle if one of the two top quarterbacks don't play. Mike McDaniel, the head coach, has done a nice job building the culture down there, but his pass defense is ranked 28th, and I don't know if they can handle Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen. I think it's going to be difficult for them. I'm taking Miami in this game because they're rolling. They're kind of the hush-hush team this year that nobody's really talking about being 4-1. I think Miami's going to win this game 29-21.
Well, it should be an interesting game. Kirk Cousins really does a tremendous job, Mark. He has 7 touchdowns, but also 5 interceptions. Can he win the big game? Well, I don't think this is really a big game, but he does have an awful lot of help. I think Jefferson's goal this year was to be the best receiver in the league, and he really has a chance to do so. Thus far, he has 40 receptions for 500-some yards. This past week, he had 12 receptions for 154 yards. He is very, very difficult to cover. And Cousins is a very accurate passer, I will say that. The offenses are very similar. 23 points, roughly 365 yards. Miami defense is a lot different. They won 3 games by the average of less than 4 points a game. Miami's done that. But I just don't think that the defense for Miami will be able to be as good as Minnesota. I think that's going to be the difference in this football game. Miami was forced last week to play with Skylar Thompson. He's a rookie who came out of Kansas State. Yeah, he had a great training camp. However, that was against second and third team. It was a little different when he stepped in. I just believe it. They think that the quarterback will be back who was injured. I'm referring to Blackley. He's a good competitor. Excuse me. I got to do that over. Let me do that over again. My section, okay? This will be a very interesting game. Kirk Cousins is a very accurate passer. He has thrown 5 interceptions this year, but he also has an awful lot of help in Delvin Cook, the running back. 373 yards, averages over 4 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. But the key to them is Jefferson. Jefferson said before the beginning of this year he wanted to be the best receiver in the league. Thus far, he is. He has 40 receptions, 540 yards, and 2 touchdowns. The offenses are very, very similar. They both average about 23 points a game and 365 yards. However, Miami's defense is a touchdown better than Minnesota's at the present time. I look for Miami, who's going to be the quarterback. I think Bridgewater was injured on the first play last week, but they expect him to be back. It wasn't a concussion. It was ribs, and he should be okay. I think the fact they had to go with Skylar Thompson, a rookie out of Kansas State, had a great preseason. But preseason, he's played against second and third teamers or people that aren't on the roster, and he's going to be a good quarterback, I'm sure. However, they rely on Rashad Mostert. He had 173 yards last week. That's very, very pretty. He ran the ball very well. I think that despite that, I think Minnesota finds a way to win the game 27-24. But, Mark, I would not be surprised if Miami ended up winning.